But welcome everybody. How y'all doing today? Let's start introducing everybody, man. Let's make the rounds. Who wants to go first?
Sure. Hi, I'm Janine from Cornerstone Supernatural.
And I'm Paul.
We're from Vancouver, BC.
I'm Dennis. I'm Dennis from Little Rhode Island here in the U.S. I'm with Paranormal Legend Society. Good to see everyone.
Good to see you again, Dennis.
I'm Ches Brushett. I'm in Nova Scotia, Canada. Everybody.
Nova Scotia. Oh my gosh! I told him we were talking earlier, man. I'm so jealous. Like I am so jealous. He's lucky I can't take a plane flight straight there. I'm telling you, I am infatuated with Oak Island. I love that whole area. Love that whole area. I just love that whole area.
Okay, and hi, I'm Lydia. I'm from Ghostly Vancouver Tours in Vancouver, obviously.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Doreen Lesko. And
hi, Doreen.
Where you at, Doreen?
Hi. Can you see me?
I cannot see you.
No, we cannot.
I don't understand.
I can see her.
Yeah.
Maybe it's me.
Yeah, she's up at the top of the grid.
Okay. My grid's maybe too small. It's okay. Well, everybody sees you then.
Unless I did something, I don't know.
No, I can see you, Doreen.
I'm the head of Northern Alberta Paranormal Society out of Edmonton, Alberta, up in northern Canada.
Awesome. A lot of Canada in the house.
We've been in operation for 6 years now, and we are strictly residential investigations. We don't do any commercial or any historical. It's all totally residential, and we are kept very, very busy. So.
Nice.
And I guess I'm rounded all out. So I'm Rick Garner with Unexplained Cases, hailing from Columbia, Maryland.
Awesome. Good stuff. And of course, you know me, I'm Nick. I represent the Beyond Paranormal. Been infatuated with passion of paranormal since I can remember, and love every bit of it, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Representing here in Texas, Houston, Texas. Yeah, man, I'm so happy that everybody's here, man. I like bringing diversity from around. You know, we got from this side of the continent, we got from that side of the continent. You know, we're just around the world. Like this is what it's all about. Like I've designed this pair chat because I just wanted to bring teams like us with common interest, common sharing, common experiences, bring us together so we can flourish with other teams like ourselves. So I just want to say again, thank you guys for being a part of this. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for inviting us.
Indeed.
And just so y'all know, you are more than welcome to be on this anytime, every time. Okay, I encourage it. If you want to be on anytime, just the door's always open. I'm only gonna say that one time. Just come on in anytime you want, man. The door's always open. The hospitality in this place. So I got the magic spin wheel again. I hope you are excited for that. In case y'all don't know.
Before you do that, Nick, I want to thank
yeah.
I want to thank Lydia and Doreen because I kind of twisted their arms to come on board this. Both of them I respect very much, and we've done, especially for Lydia, we've done a phenomenal amount of different things together. And it's not the fact that she lives 2 blocks away from us. Make that 2.5 blocks. Sorry, Lydia.
Yeah.
And Doreen has always been, a sounding board for Cornerstone. When we come across different situations or anything like that, we talk back and forth, which is really encouraging. Coming that she's from Alberta and we're in Vancouver, we've always been able to depend on her as a sounding board, and it's nice to have that. And of course, Nick, thank you very much for doing this on a monthly basis. I mean, it's great to see you doing this. You know, I remember when it started out, just you and us.
Yeah.
And then Dennis came on board, and then just keep on going.
Hey, that's awesome.
You know, it's nice. It's good to talk about the paranormal. We always thought that's healthy, and it'll be good to hear some of the other stories and things like that. So, sorry, Nick, I talked too much. You know that.
No. That's what this is all about. That's what it's all about. It's a platform to just everybody just say what's on your mind. No judgment needed. No judgment. It's a judgment-free zone. Absolutely. We support each other here. So, and I appreciate those awesome words. So, thank you. So that being said, who's ready to get down into it? All right, check this out for all you new people. Let's do this. All right, I'm hoping this works. Here we go. Fingers crossed. Share screen. All right. Let me know if it works. And can y'all see?
I can see a
All
desktop.
right.
There it is.
All right. So I added a few. Rick gave me some awesome ones. So I added a few of Rick's. I tried to get around with everybody to see, you know, your thoughts on different topics to talk about. So, yeah, man, let's check it out. Let's see what the first topic up for bid is.
No, I can't see nobody.
Ooh, pre-investigation rituals.
Okay.
All right, let me come back here. All right. Pre-investigation rituals. Who would like to start? Let's start with Rick. Rick, go ahead.
Hey, well, no problem, basically. So, for our investigation rituals, anytime we go into a location, it's fairly simple. I mean, I guess you could look at two sides of that. Depends on if you're talking about like the prep, or if you're talking about going into a location. And by that, I mean the prep would be like I have a go bag. So the ritual in that is it's a photographer's backpack that is always stuffed with charged and ready equipment. So that way, if there is an immediate need, then all I got to do is grab it and go. And so in that case, that's a ritual, is having that always ready. But for actually on location, it's always about prayers of protection. And basically that's just to make sure that covers the whole team. And then we also, have that in conclusion as well, basically, just to make sure that everybody's in the proper mindset.
Awesome. That's good stuff. Yeah, myself similar. We kind of the same thing, what we do is when we come to an investigation. Is that a hand raised?
No, I'm back in the woods again.
Well, on my screen, see, on my screen, we're sitting on some steps. This is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly.
We're back in this.
You.
Dennis, you're awesome. This is awesome. We're back in the woods. We didn't want to be there, and we're here. You jinxed us.
Hilarious.
The ocean today.
Oh. All right, Dennis, what's your pre-ritual, man? You're up next. You volunteered. I saw your hand raised, so.
Okay. We are restaurant that we will be investigate.
Is that somebody's TV out here in the background?
Yeah, it's not ours. I'm just wondering if we got an extra guest here.
No, it's probably mine. Let me go shut it off.
Okay, we'll wait for you. I was here. I saw Paul's face, and then I was like, my face. I'm like, okay.
I was going to say it's either from your place or Lydia's place. It's one of the two.
I have the TV on, but it's on mute because I have the game on, England, Italy.
I put.
Who's winning?
It's 1-0 England right now.
I had to put my squirrels in the other room. They were too loud in here, so. I had to opt for more space, so I moved my bedroom office into my living room office.
Nice. Well played.
Lydia,
Yes.
do you have a favorite premiere?
Oh yeah, I don't go on that many investigations. I just here and there with Paul. But if I'm just going into any kind of place that I feel like might have spirits, I do readings. I ask, what's there? What am I going to encounter? Are they going to want us there? Are they going to be friendly? And I feel like every time I've been validated when I get there and what we discover. Sometimes I don't automatically tell the investigation team. I like to sort of hold back and see what the mediums say or what the evidence presenting. I don't want to influence anything. But yeah, no, I find that's absolutely so. But it's been interesting how much of that's been validated at the end.
Right. See, and that's what makes it all. That makes it all that much more special. Is when the validation's at the end of what you already knew. I know exactly what you're talking about. Know exactly what you're talking about. That's awesome. How long have you been doing readings?
Oh, 35 years. I've been doing readings, I think. Not professionally. Well, I tried to do the professional thing. I'm not into that. Yeah, just do readings. Friends, family, whoever needs them. If you need to read at any point, like Paul mentioned during this interview, I've got my cards at the ready. So you just let me know.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Hey, you know what she would probably like is that. Did you see that teacup? That teacup read that whatever. The fortune telling teacup. Yeah. Oh man.
Salamander salt curio.
Yeah, I've got one that's similar to that. Actually, I do right on my shelf over there.
Oh man, I had to buy that one. I loved it. It was just I like pieces like that, just unique pieces like that. I love unique pieces like that. Oh, here we go. We're back.
Yeah, Doreen's back.
Hi, Doreen. All right, Dennis, you want to pick up, sir?
So we go to a restaurant, and it's nice because it gives us a chance just to kind of relax before we go in. You know, it's kind of hard when you're going in with a whole bunch of apprehension and you go into a place. So having that little bit of time just to kind of kick back, relax, see how everybody's doing. And the group of us, so you're trying to catch up on what life is like for everybody else, and are they ready to go? That's our ritual.
I gotcha. Nice. How about you, Ches?
I don't have a ritual pretty much. I just go right into it.
Just jump right.
And maybe that's my problem going into it. Like that, because, it's a couple of attachments I can't get rid of, and I don't know what's going on. So.
Oh man, absolutely. So if I can recommend, absolutely, it's good to just go in with a little bit of, like self-protection. Just instead of jumping in, I used to do it like that. And this is just my opinion, of course. When you jump into those, it's very, very good to like what we were talking about earlier, grounding yourself and just mentally preparing yourself. It's very, very important for me going into cases like that because like you said, it opens yourself to vulnerability, and just being that light, in the dark, it's just gonna attract a lot of things. And if you're not protecting yourself, they're just gonna come and attach themselves to you like they do. So.
The last house I was into, there was something in there, and we since tore the house down. So since I've been living with my fiance, she woke up one morning. I had like scratches on my shoulder. She never did it. And getting a lot of activity in her house. Like I got cameras up. There's orbs everywhere. There's like noises, people walking on the floors. Like I got crystals and everything here, but it seems not to be working.
Did you say you were from New Brunswick?
No, Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia? Do you have any knowledge of Bradley Monks, who's down from New Brunswick? Sorry,
No.
He has a group there. He's really good at helping to clean and clear any kind of attachments you pick up during an investigation. Maybe get a hold of me and I'll give you his information after we finish talking here. And you should contact him and see how he can help you.
And who is that, Doreen? He's in New Brunswick. Do you have a team name? Maybe I can give him a shout out too.
Bradley Monks.
Bradley Monks. Okay.
Bradley Monks. Yeah.
Monks. Paul, you know him, don't you?
Yeah, I do. He runs, but he's also coming back to Saskatchewan. So,
Yep.
But
I think he's still in New Brunswick right now.
Right.
I don't think he's back in Saskatchewan quite yet.
Yeah. He was running. He's pretty good. He's good. He's good people. We've run across him a couple times. So.
Yeah, and he's close enough to where this fella is that he could help him to get rid of any attachments that he's got.
Because, I mean, not only that, I had a group come into the house. They come in, they did whatever. It didn't get much, but the K2 meter, when it was always on my body, it kept going up to halfway. Yeah. And they left. Like, the psychic guy met me outside the house, described the house, and he said, well, you had an attachment since you were young, because I was like, I had leukemia when I was 6. All these different things. He said I had an attachment from a demonic entity, which is like the one from the Ouija board. You know who I'm talking about? I don't want to say it.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't come back to the house after that again. So I was like, okay. So I just figured I'd get into it and deal with it myself.
Yeah, Bradley would be a really good one to help you do some clearing.
Okay.
For sure.
That'd be awesome.
Doreen, you do, I know, all residential, but you also do residential, like in like viewing, as an example, if you need to, because I'll have Doreen. I'm sorry, I'm but I'll have Doreen just out of the blue. I'll say something on our Facebook page, and then she'll come on and says, I see this around you, or this that's happening. And it's kind of unique when you have somebody in another province that that has Vanessa's really good at that too.
Remote viewing.
Yeah, remote viewing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So if I ever get those, I'll just pass them on to Doreen, because her and her team
awesome.
can do that. So
it's more of a form of astral traveling than it is remote viewing. Maybe a combination of both.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's just a very unique.
It's like a cloud ride, right? It's like a cloud ride.
Kind of, yeah. It's a unique ability. If somebody gives me a scenario and bang, I'm there. I'm right inside it.
Right. Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It doesn't matter if it's past, present, or future. I'm there, and I'm witnessing it, seeing it happening.
Wow. And do you use the same type of what do you use for a technique for when you go into an investigation, like either remote viewing or actual residential? Is there anything you guys do?
I'm not sure I understand your question, Paul. Be a little more specific. Okay,
if you're going into a house, is there any rituals that you do before you go into that house?
Okay. Yes, very much so. Surround myself totally with a white light of protection, white being God's light. Line that white light of protection with golden light, again being God's light, and I surround it with neon blue. Now, why? I was told years ago by my spirit guides that neon blue will protect you from any darkness around you so that they can't see you. So I use 3 layers of neon blue on the outside of the white, and I make sure that my team, before they go in, do the same thing, whether it's sitting in their vehicle or standing outside the house. And I also, once the investigation is over, I repeat that exercise, but I also repeat it by using that same energy with the house itself. Starting at the floor, the main floor, it's like taking a white sheet of energy. Okay, now imagine when you're making your bed and you flip your sheet up, and it goes up in this big arc. It doesn't come down, it just stays there in this arc, okay? So that when you're flipping it up from the floor upwards, anything that's inside that house is getting pushed out by that white sheet of energy.
Yeah.
The white sheet stays there as a protection, and anything that was pushed out by it stays outside. And then you do the gold lining, and you do the blue surrounding. But I also believe very much that as above, so below. So instead of just doing the above, I do the below as well to create that complete dome above, below, and around the property. So that the house is also given a blessing and a cleansing once the investigation is done.
That actually made me feel good. You just explaining that, like, like I felt the energy from that. Just explaining that, like, that's awesome.
It's a very
I
powerful energy.
absolutely, and I 100% agree. Who hasn't gone yet? And then I'll go.
Janine.
Janine, let's hear it,
Yeah,
girl.
so we do what I refer to as our paranormal Miranda rights. I think a few people
Yep.
have heard me call that before, and I use that because it's like you don't know if you really need them, but it's nice to have them just in case. So it's kind of just going in there and saying what our intent is to be there, and that would vary on place by place because sometimes we're just there to kind of poke around, and sometimes we're there to try to get some people to leave. But my big belief is that I don't lie to them. When we first go in there, we give them our intent. We promise that we're not there, in most cases, to harm their environment. And we ask that they respect us as we're going to respect them and kind of take it from there. And like Doreen, the reverse when we're leaving. So it's just, again, thanking them for letting us come in and reinstating that we've left everything as it was and no harm come to them if that's the intention for us being there on that particular occasion. And just keeping everything very, very true.
And we do that as a team. Like we'll get together, and Lydia can attest to that because on some of the investigations she's been with us and privileged to come. We're really, it's nice to have her come along with us because she'll sit in the back of a room and start getting all of her information together, and then while the rest of us are doing the investigation. And then she'll come and say, this is sort of what I've got. But we've been, as a team, we'll just gather around and just talk about exactly what Janine says so that everybody is involved in that. Am I a duck?
No, sorry about that.
I was trying to hold my finger.
A friend of mine just had a baby, and he's texting me. I apologize for that. I'm trying to turn it down.
I thought it was me. It's okay. It's a new language I'm coming out with.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, but we just make sure that the entire team that's there, regardless, if there's 3 of us or if there's 10 of us, we're all there to do exactly what, and everybody's on the same page. Everybody's there as a positive ingredient as part of an investigation. That anybody that, and I say that to the team before we go. If you're, and we've talked about this, Nick, but if you're not feeling good, if you're feeling, some negative energy, don't come on the investigation because there's a tendency of something maybe reacting in more of a negative way than in a positive, uplifting way, and then and then clearing it out at the end, just like Janine said, it's really important. And we came across this because I was interviewed by an ex-cop in Toronto that has a show, and he was getting really belligerent at the end of it. And Janine's she's yelling at the couch, "Paranormal Miranda Act, paranormal." He'll understand that. So that's where we sort of came up with that, and it's from there. Then you go into the investigation and you can do your different things. And I'm going to pick on Lydia because she'll have all of her like her ovulus and getting all the names and all of the reaction to the questions that we have, and then she'll play that back and see if it matches in with anything that we've got for audio going into it, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Lydia knows. I think Doreen knows, and definitely and so Dick, and so do you, Dennis. Is that 99% of what we do investigation-wise is not residential. So it's only a very small percentage. We'll still do them, but we don't do them as a whole. So we're going into offices, theaters, different, businesses, and actually doing the investigation on those commercial or owned property. So it's when we come across, if there's an area that I can't or the team can't get to, then that's when I'll say, Doreen, listen, this person is in wherever. If you're available, or if you can do a remote for them, that's great. But it's usually going back and forth that way. So, and Nick, for you, it's because you're 99% residential as well, right?
Oh yes, absolutely. For sure, 99.98%. That's for sure. I mean, I do like the like I said, y'all know this. I do like the virgin territories the virgin grounds I call them, the places that no paranormal team investigates before, like old. I do like those, and I do come across once in a while. I do come across one. Which I got one coming up October 31st. Yeah, a place that nobody's investigated. That's also just so much negative energy. It's an old bar, well, very famous bar in Texas that a lot of deaths inside. But anyways,
we're busy that day. Sorry, we
man,
can't. We're busy that day.
oh man,
I just gotta ask, Lydia, do you do anything before the tours? Like, do you talk to anybody when you've got all of these people that you're gonna wander around the streets of Gastown? Do you tell them anything? I know I've been on, but I'm just thinking for the rest of the team here. Do you mention anything to them about what they'll experience and things like that?
Well, it's more of a caveat. If you're expecting to experience something, you might not. Ghosts are like house cats. They'll never come when you want them to do. And when you're not paying attention to them on the computer, they're not going to knock shit over. So I can't guarantee any activity tonight. But hopefully, I think they're paying attention to us is pretty much all that I tell them. And best of luck to all of us. And if someone at any point during the tour says they're feeling something heavy or something's attaching themselves to them, I basically advise, okay, tell them firmly right now, thank you for your time, but you're not allowed to come with me. You must stay here. That's if someone tells me. A lot of times I don't think people do.
And Lydia, that's tough to do because we do public investigations as well. And that's tough when you have, you don't know the people coming in, and you said about the give them their rights. We tell them in the beginning, you do not provoke. There is no provoking here. We've been doing this one area for, over a year, and we don't want cranky spirits. But on occasion, you have those people who say, oh, let's do a seance. No, we're not going to do that here. We're not going to do those things. But you don't know these people, and they come up to you, and sometimes you've got to look at them and say, okay, here's what you need to do now. You need to step out of the building. You need to, cleanse yourself a little bit, take some deep breaths, do whatever you need to do. And if they're still upset, you try not to let them back in, because if there is an attachment, and we tell them that too, we cannot guarantee you that nothing is not going to go home with you.
Hey, Lydia, on that note, have you had anybody on a tour have an experience like that when they had to personally leave the tour, even though you gave them a basic warning of everything that goes on? Has anybody ever come down with an attachment, like a serious attachment?
I think I have a guy named Ryan. He's had an attachment, and he walked around the block, I think, 10 times before he finally no, you're not coming with me. Definitely up to my guide. I've had people leave the tour, but I don't always know the reason. They say they're tired or they're not feeling well. No one's ever said, oh, I've got an attachment, I gotta go.
Okay.
To me, or but I mean, definitely there's been people saying, I'm really feeling something here. Oh, I've had Paul knows Vanessa, the medium's was on my tour last night, and she's been on the tour before, and she's like, oh, we got a couple of hitchhikers and some people on the tour with us. She's noticed there's spirits there. She says, that's okay. I'm like, yeah, just don't get grabby or anything. You can come along. But it's interesting because one thing that I've learned from Vanessa is that they only follow you a certain way. It's a walking tour, by the way. They only will follow you maybe a block or two, or they come to the end of their territory, and then they won't go any further. And then new spirits will come along, like, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? They're just very curious. That seems to be the thing. They're extremely curious, and none of them seem terribly malicious, at least where we're going.
Yeah, Vanessa's one of our newest investigators on our team, and she is a handful. She's a psychic media, and that's to the nth degree. She's got a lot of great baggage that she carries with her, and she's a charm to be around. I really mean that, because you never know what to expect.
Right.
But she'll take it easy and mention it to you when the time is right. I'm just curious. How many of the group here does cemetery investigations? Like, actually, I know Doreen does.
Yeah, we do.
In Edmonton.
I go ahead, Dennis. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just raising my hand. Yeah, I've done that.
Okay, Rick.
I wouldn't say like there's okay. This is certain circumstances with me, right? Here in Texas, there's a lot of lore, a lot of local lore, legends, stuff like that that are associated with some cemeteries. Now, those cemeteries, yes, I'll happily go investigate to try to find the claims of local lore or whatever said is going on. Now, normal, just everyday cemetery, I have a different approach about those. I just go to those cemeteries and just film Serenity series videos on those. I don't really necessarily do investigations. I basically just kind of like show the cemetery in its beauty and just let people see aerial shots with my drone, close-ups of like historical cemetery, like historical grave sites, because I'm coimetrophilia to the fullest. I love grave sites. I'm addicted to them. Love cemeteries. They're just beautiful. But no,
I'm curious if the ritual is the same going into a cemetery as it is going into an actual investigation.
Yeah, see, my ritual is the same no matter where I go, right? And I pray to one person. I pray to Saint Michael. I've been doing that since I can remember. I don't know. I have a personal connection with him. So I envision whenever I go to my residential cases, because usually the clients they're really distraught. They don't know what's going on and they're just overwhelmed. You don't know what kind of life they're facing inside of that. So I always got to take that into protective, consciousness of myself. So I walk into every residential case, just like Doreen says, a ball of white light. I layer my white light into a giant sphere. So when I walk into the room, my light commands the room. I don gold armor, like Doreen was talking about. I layer my armor in gold, and I basically walk in knight's armor with St. Michael in my army behind my back. I say St. Michael's prayer. A lot of you know I have his prayer tattooed all over my arm. He's tattooed like I'm connected with him. I know it, and I pray to him before I go into a residential case, because he gives me the feeling of invincibility of walking into knowing that, giving the client comfort of just, hey, this is gonna pass, and just we'll find out. I'm here to show you that you're not crazy, but just know I'm going to protect this household and I'm going to clear this household if it needs to. And then I assess my investigation, and then when I leave, the same on the way out the door. Every investigation I go to, cemetery, historical building, residential case, and that's my ritual. And I take Red Bulls too, so that's for my energy.
Our rituals are the same, Paul. Pretty much doesn't matter if it's going to a graveyard, and we don't call it a graveyard investigation. We just call it a graveyard walk, and we invite people to come and walk and experience what they experience. I don't walk in the graveyards because of my own abilities and the problems I have when I do walk in the graveyard. I just sit in the parking lot and I wait for everybody, and I do an opening prayer to kind of protect everybody that's going through, in addition to my own protections that I've placed on myself and my team. But I also sit there and wait till the end so I can see if anybody has picked up anything at the end of the walk. And then I can let them know they have, and if they choose to have it removed, I can remove it for them. And those are very important words, because some of them do not want these attachments removed.
And that's very strangely, I don't know, I have no idea, but it acts like they want to be removed, but when you try to do it, I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know why people are like that.
Yeah, they hang on to them, and there's just no way you can remove them. But it's in just
especially
doing,
if the intent is not there for them.
That's right, and just doing it the way I do it, just by going and sitting in the parking lot and waiting. It's an experience in itself, because you get to see so much stuff from the outside that these people aren't seeing that are walking around inside the graveyard.
Right.
it also shows you a lot about human nature, especially people that you've known for some time or you think you've known for some time. Watch them from a mediumship point of view or a psychic point of view, walking around a graveyard. It's a very interesting experience. I really don't know how to describe it, but it's a very interesting experience because people have such weird reactions when they will step into a graveyard. And it's just the energy that overtakes them is something else.
What about you,
Absolutely.
Rick or Ches? Do you guys do graveyard walks, graveyard investigations, or strictly stick within what you're good at?
Well, being more of a content producer, basically, like the only reason that we would be in a graveyard would be if there was a particular story, therefore a case. So generally, my thought on cemeteries too, in graveyards, since there's a difference, one's attached to a church and one isn't.
Exactly.
Most
Correct.
folks
Very
don't even know
correct.
that.
No, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
But it's just the idea that those locations also are definitely ones to not just be like, to go in unprotected, because
Right.
a perfect example would be one of our newer team members. We were live at the time. He was down in North Carolina at the burying grounds, which is a 300-year-old cemetery. And he just, unbeknownst to me, when he started live, he did not set up any kind of protection. And so he had just went into the live and started going through and ended up being forced basically out of the cemetery, which was
Wow.
dramatic video. And we're like, okay, Mike doesn't get scared. What happened? Well,
Right.
the end result is he'd actually gotten 2 attachments, and one of the mediums we worked with gave him some advice and solutions and remedies to be able to remove that, and thankfully they returned to the cemetery. But it was kind of a learning lesson to be like, this is why you do that, because those places can harbor some dark forces.
And I do have a cemetery attachment story, and I wasn't on a tour, though I was in Wolfville, Nova Scotia. I know there's someone here from Nova Scotia. And I had something attach themselves to me. I was taking pictures, and I see graves, and I'm like, oh, hey, John Smith, how you doing? I wonder how you died, and I'll have these conversations. And then I drove to N.A.P.S, Rhode, and there was a ghost with attached to me, and she was very strong in perfume. But I managed to convince her to go back. I don't do cemetery tours now, but when I worked for Haunted Vancouver Trolley Tours, we used to go through a cemetery and visit graves. I never got an attachment. I mean, there were people who definitely didn't even want to walk through the cemetery. They were so freaked out by it. I never had an attachment, but I found that when I asked them a question, they answered me. It was interesting how in the ether they were aware of me somehow.
Very cool. Ches, what about you?
We have a Titanic cemetery here. I've been there 3 in the morning. First time I was there, I got a box and they said, leave. Being cocky, I said, nope, I'm not going to leave. Then all of a sudden, something crashed in the graveyard. Now, no noise, no nothing. You shouldn't have that. And then on the ghost box, I said, morning. I said, okay, I'll leave now.
Uh-oh.
I've been back to and like we have at least 100 people from the Titanic buried there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's cool. I bet the energy is unbelievable walking through there.
Yeah. You remember the 4-year-old little girl that was unnamed? Well, she has a name now, and I got her come through.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Bless you, dear.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Pardon me.
That's a beautiful cemetery. The one with the Titanic survivors. A beautiful cemetery in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it is.
Man, that's awesome.
Incredible. Okay, next spin the wheel.
All right, yeah, I was gonna say, who's ready for the spin wheel, man?
Or should we have Lydia do a reading?
Here, we'll do one more spin wheel, and then we can do it. We'll do a reading at the end. Y'all want to do that?
Okay,
We'll save the best for last. How about that? All right, here we go. Screen share, and then okay, not
Oh,
that.
we're all in the forest.
All right, so we're gonna go to here. All right, here we go. Ready? Somebody say go.
Go.
Oh, I'm so proud that I got this working. And we got favorite horror movie. Yeah. I like this. I like this. All right, we'll come back here. Come turn this screen share off. All right. Back in business. Welcome back. All right. Favorite horror movie. Who would like to go first?
We saw a good one last night. At least I saw a good one. I don't know whether it's your favorite, but it was an old classic on Svengoolie, and it was Joan Crawford.
Let me write that down. How do you spell that?
Svengoolie?
Svengoolie. Every Saturday night. It was an old classic with Joan Crawford. It was I Saw What You Did.
Yeah.
It's about these teenagers who make prank phone calls and they actually stumble upon a murder. And it was pretty creepy. I saw what you did and I know who you are. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. It was good.
So yeah, that was pretty good.
Pretty good.
I like that one. Yeah. Yeah. We won't mention it because Janine doesn't like clowns. So,
I'm allergic to clowns.
How about you, Doreen? What's your favorite horror movie?
I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. It's actually a really not a top movie at all. It's called The People Under the Stairs.
Yes.
I've seen it. Yeah.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Creepy.
That is one of the creepiest movies I've ever seen. And I've seen just about every horror movie there is.
Wow.
Rick, what you got?
See, I guess I'm a bit more of a fan of the suspense or thriller or whatever as opposed to horror, because I would kind of I'd be torn between like anything Hitchcock, so like Psycho and kind of getting all original right there. I loved his style and just using suspense and not gore or anything like that. But then also The Others is a appreciated, really flipping the script type of film. So.
That was a good one. The Others. That's with Nicole Kidman, correct?
Correct.
It is.
Yeah, and that's a really good movie. That one was a good one. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
1-1.
The Others, man. Look at it.
Another score. Lydia's
It's
giving
one.
up.
Sorry, I was telling my husband it was 1-1. No.
Damn.
How about you, Lydia? What's your horror movie? What you got? We got a good horror movie?
Yes, I love horror movies. It's hard narrowing it down to one. I can give you maybe top 25, but probably I'm going to go with maybe The Changeling, the one that came out. I think it was around 1980 with is it George C. Scott? And that was, interestingly enough, that was filmed partly in Vancouver as well. Though it takes place in Seattle, apparently, in the movie. That one for me just has the perfect creep factor in it, the perfect classic horror house mystery, what's going on, and some of the scenes are just so, maybe I saw it when I was really young, but it really petrified me, some of those scenes. And it's got no gore or anything, and I can't stand gore or any of that kind of stuff.
Oh, I like the gore stuff. What about you, Ches?
Carrie's my good one.
Yes.
That whole generation of movies with Carrie, like Christine, like those were amazing movies like that. I forgot all about Carrie.
Now, my father's seen a movie. It's called Children Don't Play with Dead Things, and he walked up the stairs backwards. I don't know.
Oh man, see, me personally, I'm tied. I like all kind of horrors. It's hard to narrow down to just one favorite. Like I like the classics. I like, like the Christine, the Jason, the Friday the 13th. I like all those. But if I'm really gonna talk like ones that I just watch over and over, I'm a big fan of Rob Zombie. I love The Devil's Rejects. I love House of a Thousand Corpses. I like his work in those movies. Those are really, kind of gory in some of them, but some are kind of. But I'm a big fan of Rob Zombie. But like you said, it's hard to just narrow it down to just even 5 good ones. I'm a big fan of the Conjuring movies. I think they did a really well job with those movies. The Others, man, that's a good one, man. You got me on that one. That's probably gonna have to be. That's my pick right there. I might have to watch that one tonight, man. That's a good one right there.
What about
Who else?
Saw 1 through 6 or whatever? And
Those, my kid.
It's creepy to watch. Gore as hell, but it's the thought going behind some of these things that the characters that go through is crazy. And then there was that other one. I cannot remember the name of it, and maybe if I give you some background, maybe one of you will jump in. But it's not. They're in the desert. There's people in the camper. They're the people that are eating them. One of them is one in a wheelchair. The dog takes care of the guy in the wheelchair.
Not Hills Have Eyes. Is it?
That's it.
That's it. The Hills Have Eyes. Yeah. The beginning is nasty.
Horrible.
Man. That was okay. So any M. Night Shyamalan fans?
Oh yeah.
Shyamalan. See, I like those kind of movies that make you kind of like. Okay, what was that one? It was about they were all in the woods and like the whole town thought that they were like back in the day, but it was just like an experiment. Like a few of them did. What was that? And they were in the yellow robes, and then like nobody went out after night because like the people in the red would come out. Gosh, what was the name of that? It was an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I can't even think of the name, but they'd come paint the red mark on the.
Yeah, can't remember the name.
Oh man, those are all good movies. All right, ready for another category? Who didn't go? Did everybody go? Awesome. All right, here we go.
Rick, did you go? Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's try this again. And all right. Boom. I feel like we're getting more use out of the spin wheel.
Sounded like it just crashed on the floor.
Don't break the wheel.
That's the squirrels.
Okay.
Here we go. Spirit attachments and effects they cause. Good one. This is a good one right here.
Oh, I don't see anybody anymore.
Hold up, I'm about to get us back.
Oh.
Here we go.
There we go. We're sort of in the woods.
We're back on the
There we go. Okay, spirit attachments and the effects that they cause. Any volunteers would like to go first on this one?
Sure. Okay, so this is kind of indirectly related, but when I was in my 20s in Niagara Falls, out with some friends, this is the only time in my life that time has fragmented. And it literally went millisecond by millisecond and by millisecond by millisecond. And this voice said to me, step off the curb, get your friends out of the way, you're going to be hit by a car, but you're going to be okay. And then so time kind of went back to normal. By that time, I was no longer controlling myself. I went like this. I pushed them back as they were about to step off the curb. A car came around, hit me. I went flying on the sidewalk and just had a bruised tailbone. So I believe that at that particular moment, it was just that I was kind of a vessel for a message that was really for them. Because I never had that experience again. But definitely it was like, get those sisters, they were all three sisters, get them out of the way or they're going to be seriously injured. It was crazy.
That's incredible. That's incredible. All right, how about, let's go, Lydia. I pick you.
So are you, is the question have I ever had one?
What your thoughts on spirit attachments and the effects they cause, what your thoughts on that?
I believe that it happens, and I believe they're actually, I think, mainly destructive. I don't think when a spirit's attached to you, it's usually a good thing. I mean, in case of Janine, it was an excellent moment, and it happened right at the right time. There's really no good reason to have a strong attachment. When that happens. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a spiritual attachment, but I'm not as careful as some of the investigators here. I'm not always saying at the end of a tour or at the end of an investigation, okay, thanks, but no thanks. I'm like, let's now go to the cemetery and then just go straight to bed. That's how I usually end it, right? So I think that more than once some things followed me, but then you can tell they're there. For me, I get this loud ringing in my ears and a headache, and I'm like, oh crap, guess what I forgot to do? And then I'm like, go, go, go. This is not your home. Go, you know. And, sometimes that works. Yeah.
Gotcha. Dennis, how about you, man?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out why I don't see anybody anymore.
I can't see anybody either.
Yeah.
I see everybody.
See, I was on large grid and it was working. Then when you spun the wheel, now I can't see nobody.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
we're on large grid, and I see everybody.
Yeah, I see everybody just how we were. Actually, I see you better, Ches.
Yeah.
You're a little bit clearer coming in.
Okay. I can still hear everybody.
I see. Yeah, we see you live and
Yeah,
clear,
we see
man.
you.
All right. I've never had an attachment. You know, I hear everyone talking about, you know, how they protect themselves before they go into an investigation. I'm not one of those people. I like to go in and experience everything. I think that comes just from my background, you know, being prior military. It's just my way of doing it.
Your
That protect
discipline,
me.
more of a disciplined mentality.
You know, and I'm also the big skeptic out of the group.
Okay,
You know, I think everyone is, but I'm just like, well,
it's good
it
to have
could
a
be
healthy
something,
skeptic.
but I do know some people. One of our investigators now is kind of having that type of thing going around in his home. But I think attachments, because I've never had one, I can't tell you whether it's a good thing or not. I mean, that's being honest. I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
I know what everyone else has told me, but you know, I've never experienced one. So how do I really know what it is or what it isn't going to do to me or cause you know, my personality to change, how I deal with my family? So you know, unfortunately, I don't know how it's going to affect people.
Gotcha.
I
Doreen,
think.
go ahead, Paul.
No, I was going to say, I think that I find, at least on our team, the people that have experienced attachments and are more in tune of protecting themselves, i.e., carrying stones or any rooms or anything like that, are more those that are open more, like the mediums and the psychics within our group. I think that they're more have that ability to communicate that I don't, as an example.
Right.
And I think that those people tend to open themselves up more than I do, as an, you know. So
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'll find some of our members actually will do, you know, smudge themselves before and after going into. I just forgot that too. Before going in and after going in an investigation, because they've experienced things in the past. Sorry.
How about you, Doreen?
Well, I'm listening to what everybody else is saying, and I'm trying to connect with some of my own experiences. I've never had a personal attachment that I'm aware of. And I know you can have attachments and not be aware of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to, I have to go back to one of the investigators that we worked with a couple of years ago. One of the things I always tell my team, and I'm very, very strong about it, is that there's no such thing as I in the word team. Keep your ego in your back pocket. If you don't like that, you know where the door is.
That's it.
And this young fella, he had a really hard time with that. And I had to remind him more than once to put his ego back in his back pocket. Well, when I started looking at what he was doing in our investigations from a totally different standpoint, I began to realize that this young man had a very severe attachment. And the only way that we could deal with him was to ask him to leave the team.
Oh, man.
Because he absolutely refused to admit there was an attachment. He absolutely refused to accept any help to have it taken away or any of that kind of thing. He still lives with it today. He still is totally involved in himself, totally ego-based, but doesn't work with our team anymore.
Oh, goodness.
And that's just one example. There's hundreds and thousands of examples out there. I don't know. You take each one as you find them, and sometimes you don't see them right away. Sometimes, like in his case, you're taken in by whatever it is that's attached to them, until you open your eyes and see what's happening.
Yes, ma'am. How about you, Rick? What's your take?
Well, they're certainly real. I haven't had a personal experience. Generally, kind of attribute that to having, to use some Star Trek terminology, the shields are up and they're quite strong, it seems like. But with, you know, so,
oh, beautiful.
You know, but you know, it depends. It depends on if you're yellow alert or red alert. But you know, with the situation I mentioned before with Mike, you know, I mean, that's one where it kind of got brought home to where it's like, well, here's what happens, and like was mentioned before, yeah, I think that they're generally going to be of a destructive nature, because what is going to do that is going to be of a chaotic, of a dark, of, you know, fill in the simile or the adjective there, nature. And so it's like, you know, knowing that it's there, recognizing that it's there, and then intentionally getting rid of and putting your shields back up is a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. For as far as personally for me, you know, like with everything with your shield and everything, we completely 100% agree. I personally have probably had half a dozen attachments to myself or more. Maybe I would say at least a minimum of 6, and I'll say that. For me, it's different, and the only way I can explain this, Doreen may understand what I'm talking about. With my clients' cases, one case in particular, it was a Heights House case that walked into their home, and there was the spirit energy there that was basically very aggressive. It was very territorial, and I'm sure you've came into contact with territorial spirit energy before. They're not very they don't cooperate very well.
No, they don't.
So with this, basically, the first time I had to do it was in this case, and this couple was on the verge of doing some bad things. They were just in a bad place, you know. And I found out that the spirit attachment in the home, basically they were the original homeowners of this home that was moved from a certain location that I found out from the original, like the person I guess who they were renting from. The owners were the spirit attachments there, and I basically had to invite them to me. It's like I had to invite them, hey, attach to me, you're affecting this family. And it happened. And I remember it as clear as day. And it happens every time I got a spirit attachment. And like I said, the minimum of 6 times. It's like my alarm going off when I had my shields up, and I used to do this all the time before I go to sleep. I would usually put a brain chain, I call it. And it's basically I close my brain off and I imagine chains coming across it, and I'm usually locked up, and I usually never become unguarded. But this time I had to let myself down in order to let the attachment attach so I could leave and the attachment would be gone from the house. And this has happened 3 times in residential cases. 3 times they've woken me up from 3 o'clock in the morning, hot sweats. I wake up and there's a spirit standing there. Like, Doreen, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I feel you know what I'm talking about. That spirit energy just kind of standing at the end of the bed, just kind of like let go, I guess. But as far as the spirit attachments, yeah, I've had them, and you know, in certain circumstances, I want to say ignorantly, but I felt like it was necessary. You know what I mean? A lot of investigators or researchers would not condone, mediums, psychics, they would not condone having something attached to you to leave so you could get away from the home.
I need to interrupt you. I need to interrupt you here because I don't agree with what you're saying. I don't believe that what you're experiencing is an attachment, because you voluntarily are inviting this thing away from what it's already attached to. You're not allowing it to attach to you permanently. You're just bringing it with you.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
it brought
you're
with me, and
bringing
then
it
it
with
left.
you to
Yes.
get away from them.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
to me,
ma'am.
that's not an attachment.
But
You're
a temporary attachment. I've had one. Okay. So if we
temporary.
want to talk
Okay.
about that attachment, I've had one of those attachments. The one you're talking about, Doreen, I've had one of those, and it was a 6-year attachment, and it put me in a dark spot. And that this time I was not protecting myself a lot. I was
But
not doing any.
a
I'm
lot of
sorry.
time, a lot of times, those kind that you're talking about now, the dark attachments,
Yes,
are
ma'am.
what brings people like you into the paranormal work.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
But what you're saying about giving yourself as a vessel to take the thing
Right.
away from somebody else,
Yes,
that is
ma'am.
not an attachment.
Okay.
That's part of the job you've gone there to do, and it's the
Gotcha.
way that's the way you have created to solve the situation.
Gotcha.
I
Yeah, that's exactly it.
in
But
my case, I see myself as exactly what I am. A 75-year-old silver-haired grandma. I walk in and I grab this character by the ears and I haul him out of the house and I give him a good kick in the ass and I tell him to leave. So
yes.
you have to be who you are. It's that simple.
Absolutely. I freaking love you, Doreen.
You,
Oh my gosh.
Doreen, I could
You're
just
awesome.
see you going like this, right on the ear.
I'm
Come
t-
on,
yeah.
let's go.
Get on out of here, leading them outside the door by the ear.
Yep.
Well,
That's awesome. I
once,
appreciate that clarification, Doreen. I
but
really
see,
do appreciate that clarification. I understand what you're saying as well.
I also work with Archangel Michael, and I believe very strongly that once I've got this guy by the ears and hauled him outside, Archangel Michael is standing there waiting, and I just hand him over.
That's it.
It's a
Oh my
partnership.
gosh.
It's a fantastic partnership that works.
Absolutely.
So
I resonate with everything you're saying. Absolutely resonated
good.
with
I'm glad to
everything
hear
you
that.
said.
I'm glad to hear that.
Awesome.
Be who you are. The most important thing in the world. Be who you are. I'm a 75-year-old grandma, so I act like a 75-year-old grandma. I've earned the right. Now, you're a paranormal investigator, a spiritual investigator. Go in there and do it your way. Don't let anybody else try and tell you to do it a different way.
Amen. Amen. Oh my
That's
gosh,
what
Doreen,
makes you. That's what makes you powerful in what you do.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
In other words, you be you, boo.
That's exactly right. Don't try to be something you're not.
And surround yourself with people that are like-minded, like have the same
Exactly.
energy that you have. I mean, I'm fortunate, and Lydia's seen this straight up, is that I'm fortunate with the team members that we've got are like-minded like us, and the same with our interior team. They're like-minded like us. And anybody that's not, they're no longer part of the team, or they've gone and done their own thing. We've had too much of that sort of thing happen over time. And because we all came from, and Doreen, you know this, we all came from different groups in order to form this, and we're not going to play that game. It's just, Nick, you know very much that it's that negativity and that drama that I think. And again, if you have one person in your group that, like you said, Doreen, that you will, is a shit disturber, for lack of a better word, and does things to poke the bear, then and the rest of you are on a completely different market, then that's where you have to say, I got a fish or cut bait. And we've done that because of the fact is we don't want to infect the rest of the team.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
Lydia knows that for sure.
And it's not an easy thing to do when you have to ask somebody to step aside. But the result after you've done it is usually totally amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you as a leader seem to feel like you're all alone there and that you're not maybe doing something right because you're not getting any input from the rest of the team. But all of a sudden you let this person go, and all of a sudden you're getting all these comments. Oh, it's about time. I wish you'd have done something sooner. Well, why didn't you open your mouth sooner? And I would have,
Right.
Kind of
Right.
thing. But
we don't like a lot of you will help. Like if there's a spirit that needs to move on, you have your own ways of doing that. Within our team, we don't do that as a whole. We do have people on our team that have that ability, and we'll say, okay, Joe, you this particular location wants to move a little bit further, and then we pass that on. But as a team, we don't do that. So which is different than some of the other things that everybody's talking about. So.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. We're ready to move on to another topic?
Lydia's shuffling the cards.
Ooh.
I can see her.
Okay, let's do this now. All right,
What are we
Let's just.
Lydia?
I don't know. You guys tell me what question you want. You can ask absolutely anything. You can ask if Yeti exists. Doesn't matter. Ask any question you like.
Nick, it's your show.
Okay. Question I want to know. Let's see. How big is my army?
How big is your army?
How big is my army?
Wow.
Okay.
That's an interesting
All right.
question.
I'm going to take my dice out too. This is a serious question.
Whatever you need to do. Trust me. I'm very curious because this has been, and it's a strange question, but this has been a topic of my own mind and thought process the last few days. So I'm curious to know her.
You're an army of one or two is the answer, honestly. I'm seeing two, but maybe really in the end just you. But there is one other person in your army. It's small, but that's okay. It's powerful. It's powerful. So, no idea what you're talking about, but that's kind of interesting.
I know what you're talking about, so I'm right there. Thank you for that.
All right.
That's cool. I like that.
I got a question.
Oh, okay. Love to hear it.
Will I ever win the lottery or become successful?
They're two different questions. Are you asking if big money's coming your way? Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah.
Okay. There's big money coming his way.
I'm curious. I'm working hard now from not getting numbers.
Yeah, no, a modest life for you. It looks like. Any money you get, you have to conjure yourself. There's no extra luck, no extra nothing coming your way. Yeah, if you want lots of money, you got to prioritize money. Is kind of what you're saying. And you know what? You're just maybe not the kind of guy who prioritizes money in his life. That's just the way it is. It's not all bad news. You're not homeless at the end, living under a bridge or anything. But
no.
Sorry.
I'll stick my own money in this case.
Telling the truth. I love it. I love it.
Any other questions? Let me know. These are quick reads.
I'll have to think about it.
Okay, I'll put them back down.
Okay, I have a question.
Oh, great, Doreen.
What color is my dragon?
What color is your dragon? The cards can't tell me colors. I'm sorry. If I had to guess, I'd see purple and red or something like that. But the cards aren't
right on.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yes.
that was just me and the cards. Thank you. First colors that came into my mind.
Right on. I don't know if anybody understands what I talk about when I say what color is my dragon. All my life, I have believed that a dragon works with me. Since I was 4 years old, I have seen this purple and red dragon.
Oh my.
That flies with me, flies behind me, flies beside me, walks with me. And I have always believed that he's there. His name is Luther, and I've always believed that he's there to help me in the work I'm supposed to be doing on this earth. And it's interesting because when I ask people what color my dragon is, they look at me like I'm really, really strange. And I absolutely loved your answer.
Thank you.
Wow, that's cool.
Wow, I picked that up from you, obviously. I don't think I actually saw your dragon. I think I just saw the colors in your mind. I find that happens a lot with people. I'm actually just picking up what's on their mind.
You connect with the energy, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trick question, but it actually works in this case. So cool.
No question.
I've got one. What's going to be between now and this time next year? What month is going to be the most interesting month for Cornerstone?
Okay, I'm just gonna pick the dice for that one.
Okay.
So how do you define most interesting? Let's define this a little bit better so the dice understand.
Well, I could say productive, and that would be a good word as well.
Okay.
Oh, there's lots of thought going in this one.
I thought I heard something.
I think I'm scared.
I think actually there's two really big months coming up. I would say January's a month that's going to be predominant. And what is this? Okay, so also in the summer next year, July of next year is even going to be pretty intense for you as well, I'm finding.
Cool. Well, January is definitely and that's interesting because we've put some, we've got several investigations up the coast of British Columbia, so that should be extremely interesting. So, very cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dennis, you got anything?
You know, I like to live each day on the edge.
I know that.
So I appreciate it, but
That's okay.
Ches?
Yeah.
Another.
He's not going to get rich.
I'll get married next year. How long?
Hey, congratulations, man.
Is this the?
Is this sorry?
Is this the lady I'm marrying, the right one?
Oh. Are you prepared for the answer?
Are you prepared for that? I was going to say.
Oh, that's living. Yeah, definitely.
That's a lot of pressure.
Absolutely.
As she takes long on this one, I'm hanging up.
Okay, now just give me 1 second.
I know she's the right one, but I just want to make sure.
Yes, she is the right one.
You know what? For better, for worse, till death do you part on that one.
There you go, brother.
It's not going to be the easiest road. It's not. But that's okay. This relationship will help you grow. And I think it really is till death do you part on this one. Yeah.
Nice.
It is because, like I said, with my ex-wife, I think she was the results from the old house. I thought. So this new woman, yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
That's awesome.
So, Lydia and Doreen, can I ask you each a question?
Sure.
So, one of my daughters is very sensitive, but she's 23. How do I teach her, or where do I take her to enhance her skill set?
My question to you would be why? Why do you want to do that?
Well, right now I think it scares her. So how does she learn to deal with that?
Okay, now that's the better question. Not how do
Okay.
you help her, but how does she do it? Okay, she has to do this herself. Nobody else can do it for her.
Doreen's on fire.
I'm getting that she needs to join an online group of like-minded people who are going through the same thing to help her. That's the first.
Yes.
That's the first answer I got.
Okay, actually more than one group. She could join Paul's group. She could join my group. She could join, I'm sorry, this fella here in the middle that belongs to some kind of a radio station. I don't know his name. The guy in the black.
That's Rick. That's
Rick
right there with Unexplained Cases. That's Rick.
Yeah, join his program. Join several different ones that will give her different viewpoints. Okay, I mean it's like anything in this world. You learn by creating your own truth. You know, you can listen to all of the preachers in the world talk, but you're going to create your own religion by listening to what resonates with you from all of those different preachers, and you tuck into your heart your truth. And the same with her. She has to do the same thing. She can talk to mediums. She can talk to psychics. She can talk to UFOologists. She can talk to, just ordinary lay people who are like her, who have all kinds of questions. Take whatever resonates with her, tuck it in her heart, create her own truth, and eventually as time goes on, it's not something you can pick up one book and learn how to do it overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime training. It's a lifetime learning.
Yes.
And
We-
the fear that comes with it is normal. It's learning how to walk into your own fears. And I have, if she wants to get a hold of me, I have an absolutely wonderful exercise in learning how to face your fears.
Okay.
It's very simple, very straightforward, and it works like a charm.
We have one person in our group that she's been with us since day one, and she never really, she knew she had some talent,
Yes.
and she wasn't experiencing it, or she wasn't using it, but as time has gone on and she's felt more and more comfortable and more positive reinforcement from people around her,
Yes. Yes.
she is expanded herself to the point that I find her very unique, and I can see her going in places that, and it took a while. It took a while to get that from a closed shell to being open.
Exactly.
And now it's full on, and she's really enjoying it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But that's the point, Paul. If you surround yourself with like-minded people, it's going to help in a very big way. If you surround yourself with a bunch of skeptics and a bunch of fearful people, that's where you're going to stay stuck in that rut.
Exactly.
So you have to decide what it is you want. First of all, do you want to get into the paranormal? Do you want to get into the psychic aspect of things? Do you want to be able to see ghosts? All of that kind of stuff.
Well,
If not, then stay where you're stuck. If you do want to see it, then get out there and start talking to people.
Lydia's got a car.
Oh, and I just said the Empress came up, which means that she is fertile psychic ground. She's got,
Exactly.
she can grow into her powers quite a bit. So this is just the tip of the iceberg for her. If she, as Doreen mentions, if she wants to go there.
Yeah.
she does, because right now she definitely sees a lot of spirits, and they come to her.
Does she go on investigations with you?
No.
Oh, okay.
And
Why
I
not?
don't. One of the reasons is because we try and keep family out of our investigations. That's one of our co-founders' rules. Because what happens at home shouldn't come onto an investigation. And part of that I can appreciate, but
Janine, you can't tell her more.
But each group is different.
No, and I understand.
but
I understand that, but sometimes the best teacher is your parent.
Absolutely. But it's also that in my past, I haven't always been the good
Leader.
I've done a lot of things in my past that maybe I don't want my family to know.
No, I know Janine. She was surprised by her dad supporting you, right?
Well, my dad was always very, very supportive because I was a weird little kid.
Oh no, I support her 100%. She's always telling me that she's seeing things, and they come to her and they talk to her, and she's come out with things that only other people that we know about their own child, and that's I support her 100%. I just don't know exactly how I'm going to support her even more. But thank you. Those are good pieces of advice.
Nick, I'm going to have to say goodbye at this point. I'm
Nope.
sorry, but I have to move on.
No problem.
But
Absolutely.
thank you for inviting me. Paul, thank you for referring me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Hey, you're
if I was
welcome
about-
back. We do it. This is once a month for next, so I'll let you know the dates, and you're more than welcome to come on back and
every single
chit chat about everything, right?
It was nice to
Absolutely.
meet you.
Nice to meet you, Doreen.
And
Yeah.
Nice to meet everyone. Take care.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Lydia.
Yeah,
It's
I
cool.
also do have this step out because I got to go do some stuff. So I do.
No, that's fine. Like before we go, we can go ahead and just end this now. You know, I wanted to make sure everybody had a chance to, you know, shout out what different social media platforms you have, where people can find you guys, you know, that kind of thing. So if you got 30 seconds, you know, each of you got 30 seconds to spare real quick. I mean, please, by all means. And I'm gonna personally shout you guys out individually as well. But if you just want to tell the watchers and everything now where they can find you, let's hear it. Let's start with you, Ches.
It's SNAPS Paranormal on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Okay. Good deal. All right. How about you, Rick? Where can we find you?
All of our episodes, that's YouTube. So youtube.com/unexplained cases. But we're also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. All of those are unexplained cases, except for Twitter, which unfortunately could only be unexplained case. We just needed one more character to have the S. So
do an underscore S.
Singular case. So on.
It was special.
I know, it's a very special one. Just for Twitter.
That's it.
All right, Dennis. How about you, my man?
Right now we're only on Facebook. I've been working on getting a website up. I'm still working on that and trying to figure out TikTok. But you know, sometimes I think I'm way too old for this stuff. The social media stuff, you know, it's tough.
Hey, if Darren and I aren't too old, man, you're not too old. So come on.
Thank you.
We'll help you. So just give me a shout. We'll help you.
All righty.
Hey, if I can figure it out, anybody can.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Come on. See?
You did an awesome job. You did awesome. How about you, Doreen? You want to give your shout out? Where can we find you at?
Okay, we're called Northern Alberta Paranormal Society. N.A.P.S in capital letters, N.A.P.S. We are on Facebook and we have a website under Weebly. We are a private group under Facebook, so you have to ask to be accepted as a member, which you just did yesterday? Yeah, yesterday.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And then you added a few extra people, so just join our group and watch the chat. It goes from all you know, pardon me, covers all kinds of different things. And we have a lot of fun on there, too. A lot of humor.
Oh, good. We love that. We love the humor. And Paul and you and Paul and Janine, how about y'all? Tell everybody where we can find you.
Definitely Cornerstone Supernatural. We're a private group on Facebook. We do that because it has to be a safe place for people to tell their stories. Yes. It has to be an ability for people to say, I have this happening to me and I'm wondering how I can deal with it, or is anybody else have something like this? And Nick, you did a good thing there the other day where you had talked about your figure on the side of the road. That was
and that was actually that wasn't, and I hate to say that wasn't my story. That was a person shared that to me, and they were not in your group. I invited them to your group. They just didn't want to talk about much at all, so I just sent their story to that Facebook group because it's just stories like that. You know, everybody needs to have information like that. It's good. It's a good platform for useful information. Yeah, I mean, both y'all's places.
We talked about it in the fact that talking about the paranormal is always healthy. Yes. But to have the ability to have members that are, when we're around over 2,400, almost 2,500 members worldwide. We have different people that belong to, like Dennis's team, and yourselves and Ches, I believe you're part of it. But we have paranormal teams from worldwide groups as well, so they can jump in, share some paranormal experiences, tell their story. I love it when the evidence is shared. Yeah. You know, and again, it's a positive thing. We like positive reinforcement. We as I don't know, the ones that started it, we don't like negative as any part of it. It's not healthy for anybody there. We have a website as well, cornerstonesupernatural.com. It needs work. And the reason I say that is I've got a whole bunch of evidence to load up on it. I haven't had that ability to do that. And get most of our interior team up on there now, so that for like Rick and Ches, we've got 30 investigators on our team in British Columbia. We do that so it's people can come out and do an investigation on their own time.
Right.
And we treat them as family. They're family, period. I don't know what else we got.
We have Twitter, but I'm really bored with it, so I haven't really. I'm bored with it.
I have Twitter too, but I'm not on it as much because it's very political on there. So
Yeah, you don't see who
I
you
don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
So
I
I think
stick to my.
No.
best bet is Facebook and
Yeah.
do it that way, and experience it. You'll get stories from around the world, which is really cool. We've got a couple top contributors that are regulars on our page, and they have stories of locations from around the world. I think they're amazing.
I love those stories.
It's you can read them and do them at your own time, and wow, I just love seeing that. So anyways, that's us.
I'll have to figure out how to upload my apparition that we had the last chat on
Yes.
the website.
Ooh, yeah, that one was really good.
Yeah. Put it on YouTube, and then you can attach a YouTube clip that way.
That's what I would recommend. Any kind of media you guys have, get you a YouTube channel. That way you can upload your content to that channel. That way it's a link, and you can post that anywhere you need to.
It just takes forever.
Well, see, I'd like that because I think I told you, Nick. I went to the burial ground.
Yeah.
Wampanoag Burial Ground. It's one of our native, groups here. I mean, that was really special. And then I went to, Anawan's Rock, which is the King's Philip's War, and where he had to surrender. And those are the things that I like to do. Maybe I should start trying a YouTube channel.
And if any of you guys need help with the website or anything, like I do that on the side. I do web design, and I do all that kind of any kind of social media kind of stuff like that.
Okay,
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm going to be.
I do. Oh, for sure. I'll help anybody figure out free ways to get editing software, that kind of stuff. Because me personally, that's how I started before I was able to purchase the stuff that I have. With all my
ours is with that we do it with. So and it tends to be the most friendly for me.
The best way I went was GoDaddy, and I literally pay $70 a year, and I can upload probably 6 to 8 videos up on my website alone of just the content. So I mean, if that's a route that you're able to go, GoDaddy, you'll have your own domain and all that jazz. And to me that's a good one, because actually most people they go to my website before they actually go to my YouTube channel. So.
Well, Nick, it's kind of like the gentleman who was looking to buy the SLS software. And I think we both jumped in on that, saying,
I put them in touch with you, I hope, Nick.
If they did, they probably jumped on it because they comment on the actual video itself. I get more comments and just feedback from the actual video. So I don't know if it's because people are sharing that, but nobody really messaged me on Facebook or anything like that about the video. They just comment, "Hey, what is this?
We encourage that too, because if you've got
absolutely,
because and you commented, we had one recently where he built a new gizmo, and it was pretty phenomenal with the GoPro and everything else like that. I've seen some of that before from both of you, but you haven't finished it yet, so you can't put it up.
No, I have to. It's literally sitting behind me. Y'all can't see it, but my half finished full spectrum conversion is right behind me. Just one of these days, I'm saying, I'm gonna get some downtime, but when I gotta get rid of these residential cases. I got so many residential cases lined up. Doreen, you probably understand what I'm talking about. I don't know how abundant they are over there, but they're probably just as abundant over here. It feels like
Excuse me for 1 minute.
Yeah, you're good. So I need some downtime from me, so I can use that downtime for me. But yeah, I definitely like doing all my DIY. I need to finish that full spectrum conversion. I'm doing full spectrum conversions on GoPros, on GoPro Hero 4s, which takes all of like when I do the video, it's going to take maybe 15 minutes to convert, like super simple. And people are charging an arm and a leg for these things, and I just do not like that. I don't like the fact that people should, make a dime off of something like that when everybody's just trying to, we should be building each other up. So I've had the SLS DIY build on my channel as well.
That's how we met.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
man,
how it
I
started.
need to send y'all a picture of my helmet that I got. I got that helmet. I
We've
told you
seen that.
right? Yeah.
Part of it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm built.
So again, I mean, we put, people have questions about equipment. Doesn't matter what it is. Like, what's your opinion of that? And again, we watch it because again, we want the positives out of it. I don't want because every piece of equipment, and we've all talked about this, can be taken apart.
Yes.
Picked apart more. Yeah.
Picked apart. Yeah. So, and so we
Sorry.
Sorry, Ches?
What was that, Ches?
I just got to take a run, so you guys.
Okay, Ches. Hey, man, we appreciate you having you on the show, my man. And we look forward to having you on another one, man. Please join us again for the next one.
Yeah, I will. Thanks.
Okay, man. Bye. But yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, all the equipment can be picked apart, but it's got to be in a constructive way, not a destructive way.
Right.
And, because there is people that will just tear into it. And again, if somebody's coming up with these ideas or this type of equipment, let's talk about it.
Right.
Let's communicate about it. Don't just trash it. Right.
Exactly.
And Nick, you and I need to talk. I think I figured out how to do the one that you wanted the helmet for.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I think I figured it out.
Okay.
And if you're ever up in Canada, I know I'm just putting this out for Doreen here, but they have monthly meetings in Edmonton. Do you not, Doreen?
Yes,
you just started again.
Yes, we do. Actually, last night was our first one.
Oh,
right.
Nice.
Well, because of the pandemic, we were shut down for over a year and a half.
Yeah.
And our province, provincial leader finally allowed Alberta to be opened up as of July 1. So we
Congratulations.
we took advantage of that. And it was really unusual to go downtown without a mask on. I think it was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Had a nice dinner out, had a nice meeting after, and
That's good.
really enjoyed renewing some acquaintances that people that it's all fine and dandy to stay in contact over social media. It's not the same as having that face-to-face contact.
Absolutely.
And we were doing monthly meetings with our group from the time we began, and then we got shut down because of the pandemic, and now we're reopened again.
Awesome.
Unless they come up with another scamdemic, that will shut us down again. But we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Well, as long as we all behave ourselves.
Yeah.
We're going to be probably in 3 in September.
Yeah,
So that September 4th is the one that we're really looking forward to because that'll lift up. I mean, we're in pretty good hands right now. But I think in British Columbia we're at 80% vaccinated, so which is really
wow.
We wouldn't even be there yet, Paul, if it wasn't for the Calgary Stampede. Okay, Kenny's decided to open up the province because he wants the Calgary Stampede to go, because he's just got too much influence in that direction. So, well, I say yay for it. I'm not going to the Stampede, but yay for opening things up.
Yeah. Well, Janine just got her second shot yesterday, so we're not totally growing a third eye, so I guess we're good. So, and we've got a mixture.
Mixed cocktail of hazy.
We're good for concerts, okay? So.
So Springsteen can't kick me out.
No. Or kick half of us out, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you, everybody, to joining today and just taking an hour and a half of your time, hour and 40 minutes, actually, of your time to just spend it with us and just spend it with everybody.
Pleasure.
I truly appreciate it, guys and ladies. I truly appreciate it. Doreen, I absolutely love you, darling. You're amazing, and I
Well,
I would
thank you.
like to do. I would love to do some work with you. Just some if it's correlating, just talking back and sharing information. I would love to stay in contact with you, especially because I feel very connected to you, and I like your input on things. And I think that could be very, I like the influence. I like the influence. So just thank
Well,
you all.
I'll
Thank
warn
you
you
all.
up front. I'll warn you up front, my dear.
I love it. Just grab me by my ear and just lead the way.
That's exactly what it'll happen. But I'm very vocal. I'm not afraid to speak my mind. I speak
I
only
love
the
that.
truth. I speak only the truth as I see it.
Yep.
And if you don't like it, like I said before, there's the door.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things that Doreen and I, from day one, we've gone back and forth on a number of issues, and both in her province and also in ours. And I've always used her as a sounding board. And it's too bad Barbara is another one that she couldn't make it. She's got family issues, but we'll get her on for another one from Ontario. But she's another one that I, will go back. And the same with the girl from Saskatchewan, my home province. We'll get her on as well. But she's got a really unique perspective of things, and if she didn't have some teeth removed, she probably would have been here as well. But yeah, Doreen is a good one to for sure. Nick is a good one to bounce things off of. 100%.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
I absolutely love it. Rick, I appreciate your time here too, sir.
Thank you.
I look forward to checking out a lot of your shows on YouTube. I think I'm gonna be doing a lot of binge watching tonight, so
Hey,
I'm gonna check them out, man.
bring
I
it.
appreciate
Appreciate
Yeah.
any questions, feedback.
Yeah, for
Always
sure.
looking to collaborate with folks. So nice to be able
Absolutely.
to have met all of y'all today. So this was a pleasure.
I
Perfect.
appreciate it. Dennis, you as well, sir. I appreciate it, and I definitely plan on working with you. We got to get together and brainstorm on some of this equipment we've been talking about, my man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got to get up on there. So we'll get there. Again, thank you all for joining. I love and light
Thank you
to
for
you all.
hosting.
Hey, it's my pleasure. I encourage you guys to join next time, and we'll just keep doing this, bringing
Well,
Pair Unity together.
send
Absolutely.
out the date, and we'll circle it on our calendar. And Nick, thank you. I mean, you're a unique individual, and I appreciate your friendship and what you do, and that's from both of us. And we just want to keep on doing what we're doing.
And I appreciate those kinds of words, and we're going to keep doing this. And I just thank you all. I really appreciate it. And have a blessed Sunday. And let's keep this going, man. Have a great
Alrighty.
day,
Bye,
guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Good plan.
Bye-bye.
Bye.